All right, the injustice done with Flynn. This is Judge G.D. Pirro, and she's going to just lay it out.
Flynn is at that intersection of justice and politics, but in the end is so much bigger than politics. Whether you're left, right, agnostic, or indifferent, at its core, this is a story of injustice. It involves the usual players, protagonist, antagonist. The setup? Michael Flynn was called by Deputy FBI Director Andrew McCabe and told that the FBI wanted to talk to Flynn about the Russians, and the quickest way to do it was to keep the lawyers out. A clear violation of protocol, White House rules, and ultimately Flynn's constitutional rights. Now, we know this because U.S. District Court Judge Emmett Sullivan ordered prosecutors to hand over FBI files of the Flynn interrogation instead of sentencing him as scheduled. 48 hours later, the files are handed over, or as per the judge's directive, although incomplete and redacted.
Now, here again, the DOJ is so corrupt in the FBI that this Sullivan has prosecuted other cases, and it's like he feared. They're crossed out and covered up, and they're incomplete, and it's like he feared. They were limited in what information he got. Here again, we see the injustice and the corruption in the higher echelons of the FBI and the justice system. These are all unconstitutional and illegal acts, and they need to get either the justice system cleaned up, or they need to take it to military court, and they need to act on this because it's all covered up, and it's all a con job, and it's all illegal, and it's unconstitutional, and it's treasonous at its core.
They confirm what Director Comey himself admitted and what the judge apparently suspected, that the DOJ and FBI hatched a plan to deliberately and intentionally avoid protocol, standard operating procedure in an effort to entrap Michael Flynn. Now, Comey even admits this when he pulls off the mask of Cardinal Comey to reveal the face of a hardened political operative who deliberately trapped Flynn. He not only admitted it with unfiltered hubris, he prided himself on what any other decent man of honor would have been horrified to admit, that the rules, the law, and the Constitution matter not when politics is at stake.
Something I probably wouldn't have done or maybe gotten away with in a more organized investigation, a more organized administration, in the George W. Bush administration, for example, or the Obama administration.
Something you wouldn't have gotten away with in any other administration? So to be clear...
Now let us be clear about this. If the American justice system doesn't clean itself up, either through the military or the DOJ, the criminals are going to rule and reign, and this nation will never be like it was before.
The FBI went to great lengths to disavow Flynn of any concerns, telling him no lawyers need to be there. A plan that Comey, McCabe, and Strzok strategized, going to great lengths to keep even the Department of Justice out. And we now know that there were many arguments about whether or not they could and should do this. So you may be sitting there saying, hey, Flynn was a general. He should have known not to lie. You're right. You are right. But what is a lie? Is it a mistake? A misremembrance? A memory that simply doesn't remember everything? Or an untruth? And if an untruth doesn't require an intent to deceive to be a lie, Now, Flynn already knew that any conversation he had with the Russians was recorded and that the FBI would certainly have a transcript of his conversation with the Russian ambassador, so there would be no point in lying. Even more compelling, Agent Strzok and the other FBI agent who interviewed Flynn say he did not lie. Quote, both had the impression at the time that Flynn was not lying and did not think he was lying. They even said he was unguarded and friendly. The notes further described that Flynn did not give any indication of deception. Curious, however, is the failure of the FBI and the special counsel to provide the FBI's 302 of Flynn to Judge Sullivan. So how does the FBI...
So they didn't give the 302 to Sullivan, and Sullivan is going after these people, rightly so. So there are some decent judges in the DOJ, but there may be few and far between. Anyhow, we're going to give you the full transcript or the full source of this. It was recorded on December 15. The fact is that our justice system is in deep trouble, and it is being influenced politically by political powers and political criminals in the DOJ, higher echelons, and in the FBI.
I file a false statement charge when the FBI thought it was no lie. And you're probably asking yourself, why would Flynn even plead guilty to lying when he wasn't lying? The answer? Flynn, based on his record of 33 years as a decorated military man, is an honorable man who may have realized when he saw the transcript that what he said was not consistent with the transcript. Or maybe he pled guilty because he ran out of money to defend himself, even having to sell his house to survive.
Now this last point, maybe they just wore Flynn down and he did run out of money. To fight the government and the money and the resources of the government is more than a giant against David. It's much greater than that. And this is the great injustice which is being done, because he didn't have the resources or the legal resources or financial resources to fight the government. So maybe they just wore him down and realized that he wasn't going to win. This is the great injustice here. And this Roger Martin from Billings, Montana. I'll give her source here from Fox News, Judge Jeannie Pirro. She gets after it. We're in serious trouble. Trump military, somebody is going to have to come out and come after these guys and going to have to prosecute these guys, or the deep state will continue to do what in the world they want and get away with it. We're either going to have justice or we're going to have great injustice, and great fear is going to come upon anybody that tries to go up against these criminals. And believe me, they are criminals. In this, Roger Martin from Billings, Montana. Good day.